What you are listening to right now is literally my sixth attempt to record this video, and if this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna put this in writing or something. I've been you know coughing, and there's been background noise, and I've started and stopped, and you're just gonna get what you get here. So from the outset, let's agree redboarding is a classless thing to do. I try not to do it. I did it yesterday. I'm a little bit ashamed of myself, but I did it. I can't take it back. What can I say? Now we're going to talk about the red board and the winning bet and all that stuff. And it came in the Oaklawn Stakes aboard number three, with number three, Mr. Big News, who was 46 to 1. A number of you have messaged me offline and actually asked me directly on Twitter how I came up with this horse. And look, I'm not the smartest handicapper in the world. And I don't mean to come across like I'm pontificating or that I'm superior or that I see things no one else sees. But frankly, I'm really surprised I got 46 to 1 on this horse, and here is why. In his division of the Risen Star, which was the modernist division of the Risen Star. Remember that race was run in two divisions. His division was won by Modernist. Those top three finishers, Modernist, Major Fed, and New York Traffic, if we use Formulator, which I'm starting to think is just the most valuable handicapping tool there is, this is the chart of the Risen Star that day. We see Mr. Big News ran fifth. We key on the top three finishers. We look at what they did in their next race. They all ran in Louisiana Derby. They ran second, third, and fourth behind Wells Bayou, who is no slouch. If you follow the sport, you know very well Wells Bayou is probably one of the top five or certainly top 10 leading Kentucky Derby contenders at this point. Those three horses, Modernist, Major Fed, and New York Traffic, all three of them, even though they didn't win the Louisiana Derby, they all ran very well. So I thought that flattered Mr. Big News. And the other thing we need to consider from the Risen Star, I guess I don't have that chart here, but if we go back and look, okay, here we go. This is the chart of the Risen Star. Those top three finishers, Modernist, Major Fed, and New York Traffic, were all kind of up close-ish in the early going, while Mr. Big News kind of came from out of it, was eighth early. Modernist, the winner that day, was second, kind of going toe-to-toe with New York Traffic, who came back to be, I guess, second Louisiana Derby. So the bottom line is, my interpretation of that division of the Risen Star was that you wanted to be up close and that the horses that came out of it came back to do well. So that moved up Mr. Big News's performance in that race. Additionally, if we look at the Timeform US pace projections, we can see whether it's Basin, who was projected to kind of be quickish early in the Oaklawn Stakes. 1,000 Words had speed. Sirac had speed. Moving on down, Tyshawn, 104, even Digital. It looked like we were not going to get Gold Street. We were not going to get a slow pace in the Oaklawn Stakes. I'm not sure, with the track condition, a sloppy track, probably hard to project exactly what kind of pace we were going to get, but it looked on paper like Mr. Big News's late running style. We see he projected to run a 103 late U.S. pace, Timeform U.S. pace figure. The race was probably going to set up for him. Whether he had the ability or not was maybe something to be determined, but that's probably where the 46 to 1 odds came from. So what directed me in the direction of Mr. Big News was he came out of a pretty strong race, the Risen Star, a race where the top three finishers all came out to run very, very well. And in that race, the pace kind of favored the horses who finished in the top three. The pace kind of hurt Mr. Big News. So logically, if the Oaklawn race yesterday, the Oaklawn Stakes, was going to have a faster pace, that would help his closing kick. And we knew he had been keeping good company. So I just thought it was kind of one of those, hey, why not opportunities. And it worked out well. He won at 46 to 1. I had 100 to win in place on him, cash for just over $6,000. As we know, these opportunities don't pop up all the time. It doesn't always work like this, but yesterday's Oaklawn Stakes was just one of those races where everything kind of worked out the way that I hoped it would, and I cashed a nice ticket as a result. And who knows, today I'll be making a few wagers here and there. In all likelihood, I'm not going to have that kind of luck. And there's one other thing that did kind of point me in his direction. We see he's by Giants Causeway out of a Galileo mare. That spells turf. And I have this sort of belief that horses that are bred for turf and run well on turf, sometimes that translates well to a sloppy racetrack. I don't have the data to back this up. It's just something I've kind of always thought, something I thought I've observed. Maybe it's just a figment of my imagination, but yesterday it worked out well for me. Oh, and I also, Robbie Alvarado off. I don't mean to knock Robbie Alvarado. It just seems like in recent years, or certainly the last 12 months, he just has not been that strong when he's riding horses who are non-favored. I mean, he's picked up a few wins here and there. I don't think his win percentage is all that impressive anymore. Um, but I'm not saying he can't ride a winner, but it seems like maybe his winners come when he's aboard, an even money favorite or something. And Mr. Big News, if you look back through his PPs, he's never really been bet that heavily. The day he won, he was 6-1, but he's been double digits or bigger odds, heavy double digits, throughout his racing career. So picking up Saez, I think figured to certainly help. And anyway, it all worked out. That's how I came up with the horse. I don't think it's anything, all that brilliant. Just taking the time to go back and look at the company that the horse has been keeping and seeing if you can find good odds, and that's what happened. Anyway, thanks. Have a great day.